It's dangerously smooth.
It is.
It's like
really
Ian
awesome.
Somerhalder. I'm like a whiskey sour and you're the port.
No, you're just sour.
Welcome to Entertainment Weekly's 3 Rounds. I'm Sam Highfill, and I'm joined by the creators of this beautiful thing, Paul Wesley and Ian Somerhalder. Round 1, we're drinking your Mystic Charmer. You guys explain what this cocktail is.
1.5 ounces of Brothers Bond Straight bourbon whiskey, half an ounce of lemon juice, half an ounce of honey syrup, which is a combination of equal parts honey and water.
Yep.
And you top it with ginger ale. It's dangerously good, and you can have it in the summer. You can have it like during the day. It's like one of these cocktails where it's refreshing.
You know, the only thing about it is there's some steps to making honey syrup, but it is so worth it. Literally just honey and water. You warm it, put it in your glass, or put it in a bottle, let it cool. Sorry, so about 15 seconds.
That's all you got, buddy? Oh, Jesus. Spilled all over me.
So,
Not the hair.
Don't touch the hair. Stefan, you can't touch Stefan's hair. We all know.
Yeah, of course.
So we have our own Brothers Bond strainer, which we're super proud of. We're gonna strain this over fresh ice. We're just gonna top this with a little bit of yummy ginger ale.
Oh, delicious.
Oh, that would have been bad.
He's hammered already.
Unbelievable.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers. Oh,
Oh,
Isn't that crazy, right?
it's just
del-
delicious.
I could drink that whole thing.
So for those who haven't seen the show, we played brothers who drank bourbon on screen. Off screen, Ian and I also bonded drinking bourbon. Obviously, we weren't drinking bourbon on screen. Otherwise, well, his performance would have been a lot better.
I would have.
He would have forgotten even more lines. But the reality is we would finish shooting and we go to the bar or we go to our homes or whatever, and we'd always kick back and have a bourbon. So we developed this love for bourbon. Ian had it
It's
more
the only
so
way that we could actually
tolerate
tolerate each other.
Career-wise, let's talk. What was your first audition?
Oh my God, mine. I started doing theater in elementary school.
Elementary.
And I was doing, kinds of just like, theater stuff. And then I was doing this theater workshop in New York City, and an agent saw me and said, "Hey, do you want to audition for a soap opera?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course." Yeah,
Oh my God, that's right.
So I auditioned for the soap opera and I got the job.
But you were
and
young, right?
Yeah, I was really young. So that was my first real audition. I had done like a couple little commercials, but I never really auditioned. It was more like an extra. You put your headshot. They submit your headshot kind of thing. But that was my first real audition, and I got the gig. The show got canceled like 3 months later.
What show?
It was called Another World.
I think my mom used to take me to auditions at like local theater when I was really a kiddo. And I want to say my first audition, I think probably either at school or for a production was, I want to say like 4th grade maybe. So maybe 5th, no, probably 4th, 5th grade. And I knew very early, like, this is what I want to do. It's a long time. You know, I've been doing this a long time. And we still don't know what the hell.
Who's he looking at me so seriously?
Let's go to drink number 2. Talk to me about Blood
Right.
Brothers, which is a great episode of Vampire Diaries.
1.5 ounces Brothers Bond Straight Bourbon Whiskey, 0.75 ounces lemon juice, and 0.7 ounces simple syrup, 0.75 ounces of
Port wine. Blood Brothers is really our take on a classic whiskey sour. And the reason whiskey sours have been consumed for 100+ years is because it's really nice. Typically bourbon is going to be really a lot stronger than ours. And this really balances it out. But that woodiness of the bourbon is really nicely balanced out with the citrus and the sweet. We love to put a port wine on top of it, which just really, and what's cool is that you'll see it, the legs of the wine comes down and really just mixes and gives it this really incredible flavor. So without any further ado, we get this beautiful liquid. Point over this. Now watch how beautiful this is.
There it is.
And you get this like gorgeous, comes down the sides. I mean, it's just a beautiful, simple cocktail, but like this is a whiskey sour, but the brothers way.
I'd like to preface this by saying I made mine in a rush and also like half an hour ago. So pay attention to theirs. That's the pretty one. Mine just is here.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Sister.
Yours is very porty.
I know it is. I want that at a summer picnic.
I'm like a whiskey sour, and you're the port.
No, you're just sour.
Can you drink iced tea anymore, or were you done with it by the end of Vampire Diaries?
Well, I'll tell you a funny iced tea story. So we were obviously drinking the iced tea quite often, and you know, when you're on set, you're doing take after take after take after take, and you know, you take a sip in a scene. Well, you got to, for continuity, you have to do it essentially from every angle, wide, medium.
Talking about season 1, we were all just like.
So yeah, and so the first season, I was like, I couldn't sleep. I was jittery. I thought it was just because I was nervous. Turns out I was just consuming so much caffeine because there's so
From
much
7
caffeine.
a.m. to 7 p.m.
Yeah, and
we're
I
drinking like 800 milligrams.
Yeah, so season 2 we switched it out to decaffeinated iced tea because man, I was losing it.
We were literally season 1. We were lunatics because we were drinking this tea.
Okay, but I remember you guys talking about when we talked about like the pilot of Vampire Diaries. You went apartment shopping so that you could get apartments next to each other, so you could like rehearse all the time, right? Yeah. So like, did you rehearse all the time? Was that a key part?
We flew to Atlanta together so we can find apartments.
By the way, that was in May of 2009. Isn't that wild? That was May of 2009.
But we flew to Atlanta when we literally got out of the car. It just so happened we were wearing this.
No, we arrived at the airport. When I met you, I pulled up and I had a hybrid car. We had like some flashy rims on it. It was really tinted windows.
We had white t-shirts.
But we were wearing the exact same clothes.
Same jeans, same boots,
and the same
backpack. And we pulled up to the hotel.
We had black
Ray-Bans. And we pulled up to the hotel and they're like, "Are you guys in a band?"
We look like the Blues Brothers. I'm not kidding you.
The show hadn't premiered yet. It was really funny.
It hadn't premiered yet. We hadn't even shot it yet.
Yeah. No, we spent a ton of time rehearsing.
We wanted to be. That's why we wanted our apartments next to each other so that we knew that we needed to be brothers, but we wanted to rehearse everything.
Hey, you know what? In this new creative space, should we get a bunk bed? And then just kind of have sleepovers and talk bourbon?
Big brother gets the top bunk.
You do try your best to form a bond with whomever you're working with because you spend a lot of time together. But yeah, with us, it came pretty easily. I think a lot of our sort of synergy, we joke around about it, but the truth is we are kind of different, you know, and
totally.
And I think that's what kind of allows it to sort of coexist. I think when people are too similar, at first it can be great, but then it ends up kind of sort of, you know, wearing itself out in a way. We're so different that he brings what he brings to the table, I bring what I bring to the table, and it just sort of blends nicely, you know. And I think that it's a really it's a unique but really fantastic synergy for not only friendship but business.
It's also been tested. You know, you're talking about over a decade of testing, right? He and we helped build a massive pop cultural phenomenon of a television show together, in
all humility.
No, I mean I'm saying that in humility. I do say that all in humility, but built on the backs of us and our cast and our whole production team and our, you know, right, everyone's backs. That was built. But this dude and I had to show up every day and love what we were doing, respect one another, and build on it every single day. I mean it. Our souls are in this bottle. And
don't quote me on that.
Round 3. Let's talk about this bourbon tease.
1.5 ounces of Brothers Bond whiskey. You have 3 ounces of ginger kombucha. You squeeze a lemon wedge.
Yeah, incredible.
Damn, that's good. And 1 teaspoon of freshly grated and peeled ginger.
Literally, freshly grated ginger.
And by the way, again, I want to reiterate, this is all on our website, so you don't have to, you know, people want to make this at home. It gives you the method and the ingredients and photos and everything. So anyway, here it is in its finished form.
And I'm going to use a Brothers Bond beautiful cocktail spoon. So the bourbon tease is a sort of
Cheers.
Modern take.
Should we take a
It's
sip?
kombucha. Cheers, sister.
Cheers.
It's kombucha. It's bourbon. Mm.
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 Can't even taste the bourbon, which I don't know if that's a good thing because it's just so. It's like you don't even know you're drinking alcohol.
Good. So for a bourbon company, for us, Gen Z, we get the tail end. That 21 to 24-year-old, the 22 maybe to 24-year-old is the very tail end of the Gen Z generation, and so that generation is incredibly engaged. They are very, very, very aware of the things they're drinking. And the other thing about it too, and this is something that we talk about from a corporate level, which is so strange for us to say, but as a company level, is that millennial and Gen Z consumers.
I'm a millennial, just so you know.
You are a millennial. But millennials and Gen Zs are going to change the world, right? But the idea is like, listen, millennial consumers and Gen Z consumers, they want to know that the companies that they are spending their hard-earned dollars supporting are going to something that is meaningful. That these companies are good stewards of their environment, their corporate structure, their communities, whatever it may be. And that's why we are so proud of this company. It's not just building these like incredible cocktails or even just bourbon you can drink warm out of the bottle.
I think what he's getting at is we have a give back component. And you know, I don't know if you know about it, but we're really excited about it. In fact, our neck tag, you know, sort of speaks to that. And so we're giving a portion of all of our sales is going towards regenerative agriculture. So yeah, I mean, what Ian says is totally accurate. I think these days, if you start a company, you have to sort of think about how you can give back. But you know, one of the other things that I think is so special about our brand, or at least what we stand for and our ethos of our company, we talk about it with our team, so we're not interested in just selling alcohol. It's like we're interested in people purchasing this and experiencing a bond with whomever they're sharing it with. I mean, really, and I know it sounds kind of cheesy, but it's true. Alcohol is meant to be consumed in celebration, in kinship, and as a bond. And so we really want the brothers bond name. Yeah, okay, it's a nod to us, but at the end of the day, it's a bond with whomever you're sharing this drink with. And I think that's so important for us to really note to our fans and to people that are, you know, buying this, is to really enjoy this with someone.
Let's end this on one final cheers, guys. Cheers to you and Brothers Bond.
Cheers.
Cheers,
Samantha.
Cheers, guys.
Good talking to you.
Thank you, Samantha.